Welcome to Grumpy Old Men. I think I could probably say that, speaking for both of us, Steve, that we're both a little bit flat. Flat on a Friday, such that we've both had a coffee. You've still got yours to go. Tastes like a bit of a malted milkshake to me. And you're having coffee ice cream.
Yeah. I'm trying to brackadaka. It just won't start, man.
Because you partied all night at the first night of the festival.
Sure. Yeah, let's say it's that. Yeah.
I think they did, because my tradesperson for the building my beach house didn't turn up this morning. So I think all the locals had a fine old time.
Yeah, I haven't seen Chamnan yet today. Yeah.
We nearly ran over him in the...
Oh, that's right. Here. We did see him on the road.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not on the road, but driving on the road. Now, speaking about on the road, I sent you a message yesterday, I don't know, about 5 o'clock, saying the parade should be around your place about 3 a.m. because it was the slowest moving parade in human history. They'd sort of walk about 5 metres and they'd stop for half an hour.
Yeah.
And they'd all get their phones and go through their Facebook. Then they'd sort of trudge another 5, all with this thump, 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 thump music.
The music never stops.
Traditional Thai music.
We're at the end of the parade route. I know that the parade for the Turtle Festival starts up the hill at the Lotus. So they've come about 3 kilometers by the time they get to us. And they're typically very hot and tired, and they just want to finish. We're at the end of the parade route. And I think that might be part, anyway, of what we saw yesterday. They were very tired, these people. You know, if you walk in heels and a ball gown for 3 kilometers with 6 feet of the hem of your gown dragging on the pavement.
Yeah, those hems are looking pretty tatty by
the
time
you're dragging a lot of fabric, man. And I think, by the time we see them, they're just ready for it to end. They're ready to get out of the ball gown and go shopping at the festival.
Now, if we're showing a bit of video that I shot on during the parade, and you'd sort of get a bit of an idea if you looked at that footage that half of Kai Muang are from the trans community.
Yeah,
there was a lot of men and perhaps even ladies, I'm not sure, wearing elaborate gowns and parading themselves.
Yeah, they're
proudly.
They're a standard feature, I think, of any Thai parade I've ever seen. And yesterday's was by far the smallest parade I've seen. There are 3 events on the beach road every year where they have a parade. They got the Ginjay, the vegetarian festival, which is all religious iconography, everybody dressed in white. There's no gatoys, there's no... it's just, adherence to the faith, and they're whipping themselves and cutting themselves and piercing themselves.
Throwing fireworks at passers-by.
Yeah, but this one is New Year's, and the other one is the Turtle Festival. The Turtle Festival is absolutely huge. And it's a wonderful thing. You've got the gatoys, and then you've got the third graders. And the third graders are dressed up too. People here... Rural Thai mothers spend a fortune on making costumes for their kids to march and sing in these parades and these shows on stage. And so everybody in the parade is dressed in colorful, bright, crazy outfits and carrying props and things. So you've got the trans community, and then you've got the third graders, and then you've got more from the trans community, and then you've got the Lions Club, and then you've got more from the trans community, and you've got the Rotary, and you've got, it's very much integrated. And nobody
half of the Rotary were in the drag too.
Maybe. They are very successful business people.
Allegedly. Yeah. My sister this week was given the
Rotary.
Paul Harris Fellowship, which is a very high award.
From Rotary, right? She's
From
in
Rotary.
Oh, good
or
for her.
Rotary, as we used to call it. And she, I don't know, she's been part of Rotary for 30, 35 years. So, sort of a long service award.
Yeah.
Well done, Trish.
Yeah, good for you. Should we mention where we are?
Oh, Steve, would you like to mention where we are?
No.
So there you go. Thanks for joining us.
Right. This has been Grumpy Old Men. Next week they'll have something else in this time slot. We're in one of the very fancy resorts right outside Turtle Beach.
Oh.
It's called Clumsy manners.
Retrieve my coaster.
It's called Le Corral.
Le
Le
Corral.
Corral. And the food and beverage outlet is called
La Perla.
La Perla. Thank you.
Which means?
The Pearl. Yeah. And I suppose Le Corral means the coral. There's a lot of coral in the decor. They've really, really put effort into the sea theme. There's all kinds of seahorses and fish. And,
I'm pinching ideas.
yeah. But this is one of the 7 or 8 really fancy, very expensive hotels or resorts that line the beach south of Turtle Beach. And right now...
they're empty. Let's just say it as it is.
Yeah. If you want, and I don't know what the room rates are right now, but I would guess they're probably happy to give away the rooms.
Here we go. We need a person. The popular vlogger, what's his name? Oh, God.
Kim Kardashian.
The noisy, loquacious American guy that used to be into MMA. Joe Rogan.
Oh!
He's got that person that sort of sits there and Googles everything for him while he's doing the show. We need one of them.
Yeah, the guy in the chair.
We need the guy in the chair.
Every superhero has a sidekick. The guy in the chair who, like, monitors the police band radios and everything else. Yeah, it's a trope. That was good. That was good ice cream.
When do you want to check in? We'll try February because that would be a bit cheaper.
Try right now.
And that'd be hideously expensive.
Do you think? Because I don't see anybody
okay,
here.
how much to stay here for a night?
3,000. 3,000.
Two beds. Oh, okay. This is actually two beds. Okay. Well, it's a single. Okay. 2,550. So this is sort of 4-star-ish.
I don't know. I haven't seen a room here. It's very well maintained. It's a lovely, lovely place.
Sure.
Absolutely. At the moment, it feels empty. It's dead quiet. The staff were overjoyed to see us walk in.
Yes. We were the first people that have come this year.
Yeah, all we did was order coffee, and they were over the moon.
Oh no, I've had a
mocktail.
A mocktail, which is raspberry lemonade and a bit of soda.
Now, maybe after we pimp them a little bit on this show, they'll give us a room, huh?
Well, 2 rooms, thank you very much.
Yeah, 2 rooms. There's a spa with some weight machines. Everything looks brand new. The furniture looks brand new.
And the fountain's going. Oh, there's actually a person in the swimming pool.
Is there?
And we're right on an estuary. And then after the estuary is about 50 metres of sand and then the Andaman Sea.
Yeah.
So this being La Perla is the Perla of the Andaman.
Sure.
Okay.
They used to call, that was Phuket's nickname 30 years ago, the Pearl of the Andaman Sea. Yeah.
And there's another one, which is Georgetown. What's that? Penang. That's also the Pearl of the Andaman. There's 2 pearls of the Andaman.
Yeah, well, in the world, there's probably 20 turtle beaches, I have discovered.
There's only one that matters.
There's only one that matters. But there's one in Costa Rica, one in Hawaii, one in, I don't know where else. I don't remember.
So we should invite you, apart from coming to Le Corral, if you want to have a fairly quiet time in a very nice resort on Natai Beach. All the resorts here are very quiet at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know why. This is a very nice area, just north of Phuket. Easy to get to, probably quicker to get to these resorts than it would be to get to any Phuket resorts, to be honest.
From the airport?
Yeah,
from
the airport.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
So
going south from the airport in Phuket is like walking through quicksand. It's just, getting anywhere south of the airport is ridiculous.
It's the nicest feeling, and I go to the airport every now and then picking up people, and coming out of the airport and turning left. It's a great feeling.
Take that, Phuket.
Double lane freeway all the way.
Yeah.
Highway.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
Do we have anything else to say about the local festival? We're still not exactly sure why it's being held, but there's 100 stalls.
Yeah.
All the usual food and
99 of them selling some form of fried dough. Everything's fried these days. But there's all kinds of food. There's a stage where politicians will make speeches. The kids groups will come out and dance. And all the moms will crowd the front of the stage and take video. And there's like a Ferris wheel and a big bouncy castle.
A huge bounce, and the
yeah.
world's smallest roller coaster.
Yeah, the world's smallest roller coaster.
Which takes about 3 seconds to go round, I figured.
Yeah. And, it's very quaint and very charming.
It is.
And the weather has been really nice. Very cool and breezy. Right now, it's very cool and breezy.
As we're speaking, we've got an onshore breeze about 10 to 12 knots.
Yeah.
And it's going to be this way for the next 4 or 5 days because I did the weather report this morning.
These little, in a town like this, I don't know, last night I bought 2 shirts.
Is that one of them?
No, I bought non-checked shirts specifically to do this show. And
why didn't you wear one of them?
Because they haven't been washed. They haven't been laundered yet. I don't wear clothes that haven't been laundered.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I do.
Well, you are welcome to my share of that. But no, next week I'll have a shirt that is not checked. And but at any rate, I saw probably 10 people from the village that I know. Oh, and
too hard to drink with a straw.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
So a viewer named Troy came to visit me today, and he took me out for lunch. And he said, "Boy, Turtle Beach is much bigger than I expected." He said, "You describe it as a village, but it's a town." Well, Tai Muang is an amphe, all right? It's what we would call a county, I suppose, in the United States. If we call Changwat states, the provinces are states, then the division of the Changwat, the amphe, would be the county. And within that county, there are 9, in this case, Muban, 9 villages. So
Obotors?
I think so. Yeah, beyond that, I start to lose.
Same with me.
Yeah, I stop tracking.
Be assured, we will get thousands of comments correcting us. So.
That's fine. That's great. Yeah, Steve got it wrong. But the 2 streets that border the beach are a Muban. We are number 9. We are village number 9. So that's what I talk about. I'm interested in Tai Muang Beach, hot Tai Muang, not so much the town or the amphe of Tai Muang. So when I say village, I'm just talking about those 2 streets. And last night I saw 10 people from the village at the festival, and it's neat. You see your neighbors, you recognize someone. Everybody's taken off their masks now, so you can recognize people. And I love that. And you don't get that, I think, in a bigger place. I'm sure there are temple fairs in Bangkok, but do you go and recognize neighbors in Bangkok or any place bigger, Hat Yai, Phuket, I don't know.
Do you know the phenomenon of actually going to a strange place and recognizing people, of all the places in the world I always used to run into multiple people I knew, was Los Angeles Airport. Of all the places in the world, of all the gin joints, I always used to run into friends, multiple times I went through LAX.
Wow. That's amazing. First, it's amazing that you travel through an airport that frequently, I guess.
Well, I used to go to the US quite often in the late 80s and 90s. Before I got mugged in Chicago, then I decided I'm not going to go back there. That was 1991.
USA.
The first time I went there was 1983 when I was sent over by Macquarie Radio. You know how you were in the sun last week?
Yeah.
I'm in the sun this week.
Crimea River.
Yeah, lucky me. Yeah. So apologies if I'm shining a bit and Steve looks all nice. So, I was sent over by the Macquarie. You might have to do a live move again. I was reporting for Macquarie Radio, doing a coverage of the America's Cup in 1983 out of Rhode Island on Long Island Sound. When, after 60 years of continuous winning by the New York Yacht Club, the Australians wrested the America's Cup from the US and took it back to Perth, Fremantle, Perth, in the yacht Australia 2 with its winged keel. You don't know anything about that?
No. I was not aware that this.
Well, we had a public holiday the day we won it in Australia. The sort of thing that Australians do, have a public holiday for a big sporting win.
Yeah, sure.
So you remember that?
I'm from Iowa. We are not aware that oceans exist.
Sailing. You don't have the Iowa yacht club or anything.
No, the biggest body of water in Iowa is rainwater collected in an old tractor tire that's been thrown out in the field. That's the biggest body of water in Iowa.
There is, I think at the I think it's in Ayers. Ayers Rock is the old name for Uluru, which is that great big rock in the middle of Australia.
Isn't Uluru the old name for Ayers Rock?
That's yes.
Yeah.
And I think
get this shit straight, man. They're going to kill us. They're going to pillory us in the comments.
Oh yeah. And there's I think there's the Ayers Rock Yacht Club, which is a bar there, which of course is about as far as you could get away from a body of water.
Right.
Is this sunlight disturbing you? It doesn't bother me. It just looks shocking on camera. I look like I've got sort of multiple...
You could simply move to this corner of this table, perhaps. Though I think it's going to follow us wherever you go.
We'll work through it. We'll just keep going. I'm just going through the things we have to talk about here. And one of them... Have we finished talking about the local fair?
Oh, I think so. It's basically a lot of shopping.
The local trans community?
Yeah. That once the parade is over, it's just shopping and food and children singing for Grandma to take a picture.
But I suppose I find it striking, and I notice it, and I shouldn't notice it, but I do notice it, particularly because I sort of read the news and I'm fairly well read, where you couldn't have had that parade that we saw last night in any town in the US without there being a whole lot of kerfuffle over the trans people walking down the street having a fine old time. But here... No one bats an eyelid. No one could give a shit.
Yeah.
And just every time I see it, I go, oh my God, this would just be causing such a stir.
Yeah, America is not particularly, in most places in America, we are not particularly enlightened on those subjects. Different. We're a very diverse country made up of immigrants, and yet we don't trust or like the other, anybody different from the people in our neighborhood. I think one factor in that here, I mean, just historically, they've been much more open to those sorts of ideas. But in this town, everybody, well, first of all, like you mentioned, almost everybody in town is in the parade. But the few people standing on the side taking the videos are related to those people in dresses. You know, somebody's cousin. That's somebody's cousin. They went to second grade with them. They went through school with them. Everybody knows everybody here. So those aren't just anonymous trans people. That's cousin Somchai. That's my uncle or whoever. That they know these people. So I think that's part of it.
And rather than sort of looking down on them, people go, "Wow, don't they look spectacular?"
Yeah,
and
isn't that fun? They laugh at it.
And look at the hair, and they've spent so much money on their dress, and behind them is, as you're saying, the third grade, and then there's another sort of set of. Yeah. And then there's the fourth grade scout troop, and nobody cares less.
No, you've got the trans community, and then you've got the school kids, and then you've got the 20-somethings in their tricked out cars with the doors open, with the speakers going oompa 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 oompa, and then more trans and more children. The
music is so inappropriate that they play. You're sort of thinking it's going to be Morlam, sort of country music from Isan, but no, it's this sort of. Like really, but the 60-year-old
Thai techno. It's house, I guess. When your house is just a roof on stilts.
And there's 2 volumes for Thai music, extremely loud, and it's not working. Yeah.
Every amp goes to 11.
During the week, there was a very unfortunate story, and when I first read it, I thought it's a bit strange. But the story, I'm not sure if you saw. A daily news program called TNT This Morning, Steve.
Never heard of it.
Well, you should.
Yeah. They need better marketing.
Yes, they need a much better host. But a story about, it was reported in the Daily Mail, so the first thing you go is, oh, here we go. But he was on his way to the airport, Irish gentleman in his early 40s, I think. And it's reported, the way it it's written a mosquito bit him in the taxi,
Oh,
and by the
guy.
time he got to the airport, he had dengue fever.
Yeah.
Well, he must have been bitten some 4, 5, or 6 days before, but apparently he started feeling bad in the taxi. They then took him to the local hospital, and they checked him in, and he's like in a really bad way. And people can get very, very sick from dengue. A lot of people don't, but this guy seems to have had an extremely pneumonia and this and that and a whole lot of other things. But I suppose it's just a timely warning that if you are in Thailand at any time, just be aware that there is this thing called dengue fever. Have you had a bout?
This year, dengue is very bad in Thailand.
We thought you might have had it.
I think, I never
Yeah.
got tested, but I think that's what it was. Particularly, they used to call it bone break fever. And Dr. Thrasher at the Mission Hospital in Phuket told me 30 years ago.
It's not his name.
Yeah, Dr. Thrasher. He was he was an osteopath from California.
I
who
had a dentist called Dr. Blood.
Oh.
You would change that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Dr. Blood.
It's like, weathermen in America are always named Ocean Storm or things like that. But anyway, he told me he had lost his license in California, gone into the mission service, and been posted to Phuket. For a long, long time, he was the head of Mission Hospital, or one of the heads. And he saw me once, and he said that was the only Western medicine in the 80s on Phuket, so everybody went to Mission Hospital. And he said, we lost 17 soldiers in Korea to bone break fever. That's dengue fever, and they call it bone break because your joints get inflamed and it hurts like hell. And I've got arthritis and bursitis in all my joints to begin with, and oh my God, I was in agony for 3 or 4 days. I thought I was going to die because I couldn't get up out of bed and feed myself.
This is the recently thing?
Yeah, like a month ago maybe.
Yeah,
a month, 5 weeks ago.
You weren't well.
So no, I was not well. So it can be very, very, if that's what I had, and I think it was, it can be very, very painful and very debilitating. And I suppose some people, if you have a comorbidity, it could kill you. It does kill people.
So the story was inaccurate from the point of view of him being sort of bitten in the taxi by an infected mosquito, who sort of like I don't get bitten much by mosquitoes.
This month, well, typically, we've talked about this. Kai Muang, I haven't seen a lot of mosquitoes, but this month, December, and last year and this year, I've had a few mosquitoes in the house. And I actually bought a mosquito net to sleep under because I don't want to turn on the air conditioning, and I don't want to wear a mosquito repellent to bed.
Have you bought your bed yet?
No, they're not selling any beds. They're selling like day beds, which is what I already have. So no, I haven't bought a bed. And here's a pro tip: at these fairs, wait to the last day.
Ah, of course.
Yeah, they don't want to put it all back in the truck.
Yes.
Wait to the last day, pick out what you like, and go tell a Thai friend to go buy it for you.
But can't you sort of say to them, do you have any king-size beds? And they'd go, just wait 5 minutes, and one would turn up.
Well, perhaps. I have not tried that. I simply walked because it's right outside my house. I just walked down and looked at what they had. But yeah, in any one of those situations, any of these fairs, wait to the last day before you buy anything. I bought shirts last night, I know. But typically, I would wait for a big-ticket item, wait for the last day.
Now, one thing which was spoken about a few weeks ago, and I thought you as a literary wordsmith, person that loves playing with words, and it's the only talent you've got, so you may as well enjoy it.
I don't really have that talent. But
speaking a few weeks ago, there was the announcement of the Word of the Year.
Yes.
And it was a word I'd not heard that obviously must have been bandied about on the US media.
Social media.
But by somebody. But it's a word. Could you bring us up to date on that?
Rizz. R-I-Z-Z. Rizz.
Oh, it's spelled with 2 Z's.
Oh, yes.
Z is pronounced.
In the dictionary. Yeah, R-I-Z-Z.
Z.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. Rizz. And it is a shortened... boulderized form of charisma. So it is used to
charisma.
It's used to describe celebrities or when teenage or tween girls are talking about each other. Oh, she's got no riz at all. Yeah, it refers to somebody's personality.
So I'm wondering, do we have Riz?
I don't. Well, you certainly do. You have 20 bajillion subscribers. How many subscribers do you have? I have been
20. Hang on, I'll tell you exactly.
25,000. I have been stuck at 4.97 for weeks. I don't have no Riz. But I think it is.
I don't think Riz means subscribers. But there you go.
Well,
there's the update. Right now,
29,562.
Closing
29,000. He's got Riz. It is charisma that we are selling here. And the word comes from social media. I think, since today everybody with a phone has got a TikTok or an Instagram or a YouTube, and we're all trying to sell
you're
ourselves.
calling it Riz. I think most people would call this bullshit.
Well, bullshit is fine, but there's bullshit that gets 60 views and bullshit that gets 60 million views, and Riz, I think, is the difference. I have said this woman Bella Porch, Poarch. I am absolutely in love with this young woman. She's got a Horatio Alger backstory, a purely American backstory about an orphan, an immigrant who comes to America and uses the U.S. Navy as a path to citizenship. And while she's in the Navy, she starts TikToking, and she's a survivor of sexual abuse, and she's TikToking, and all she does is act cute in front of the camera. She sings a little bit with auto-tune, but for the most part, she's a poser. She's a model. She's a cosplayer, and
well, I think there's an opening there for us.
Shall we cosplay?
We should be wearing costumes.
She
each
is
week.
the biggest thing, literally the biggest thing in TikTok. And she doesn't dance or sing, really. She just is cute.
And she sells things on TikTok?
Oh, she has affiliate marketing, and she is sponsored by various products. And she goes to events. She'll go to an auto show or a lot of comic book conventions and things like that, because her market is kids reading comic books. And but she's selling charisma. She's got Riz up the wazoo. This girl is so photogenic, so electric.
Riz up the wazoo.
She's got Riz up the wazoo, baby. And the doctors say it's safer not to take it out. But and that's the deal. That's who succeeds in social media, is somebody with who's got the sparkle, who's got the zazz, right? The Riz.
The latest person with Riz, apparently, and it's all to do with the release of the new Willy Wonka film. A young gentleman who I'd never heard of before is he's got the same name as I.
Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet.
You don't know Timothy Chalamet?
I've never heard of Timothy Chalamet.
You've never seen Say My Name?
Okay, so I saw the film and I didn't sort of know his name, and I didn't go. Meh. So, but now as Willy Wonka,
yeah.
It's the pre-story, the prequel to the Gene Wilder character.
Yeah,
it's not the sort of the dark Johnny Depp, slightly dark one, but apparently the film was wonderful.
Yeah, well,
we've got to go see it.
Hollywood kept saying we're going to keep making this story till we make it right. I despise the Gene Wilder version. I think that's one of the worst movies ever made. And
there's going to be a lot of people that disagree with you.
That's fine. Everybody, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, and they all stink. But comment section.
Speak for yourself.
Comment away. But yeah, I didn't like the Gene Wilder version. I despise the Johnny Depp version. I'm one of those guys who started out a huge Johnny Depp fan, and now I won't go see Johnny Depp if my life depended on it. I would not pay money for a ticket to one of his movies if you paid me. But Roald Dahl, I love. James and the Giant Peach and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, huge in my childhood and in my children's childhood.
Okay, so you probably just need to flesh this out a little bit. What didn't you like about the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Are you interested?
I thought it was a charming movie.
Yeah. The song sucks. Sing me a song right now. Other than Oompa Loompa Doopa Dee Doo. You can't remember any of the songs.
So excuse me, the main theme song is called World of Imagination. World of
imagination.
Which I think is one of the
da-da-dum.
loveliest song tunes ever
All right.
written.
All right.
Which is also being used, which is how I sort of came upon this new Wonka movie. I think it's just called Wonka.
Yeah.
Because the soundtrack was there, and there was this Timothy thingy.
Chalamet.
He's pinching my name. His name was Norman, and he said he watched Grumpy Old Men and said, "I want to be like that bald guy.
Yeah, I want to be like Tim, but longer. 2 syllables longer.
Oh, he's got a circumflex over the E or something, and an acute sign. Very pretentious. So I'm going to be Timothy Newton from now on.
Timothy. Chalamet.
You have to
Newton.
You have to
Swallow the N.
no, refer to me as Timothy in the future.
Okay.
I won't have anything else.
All right. Well, I've been calling you
Stephen.
boss all these years. I'll call you something else.
But yeah, it was a remake of the song "World of Imagination," something of a pure imagination. It's a beautiful song.
To each their own. To each their own. Yeah, this is.
So I'm gonna see if I can find it free on the internet first.
All
If not, I'll go to the movies and watch it. It's a great Christmas movie.
All right.
All right,
Sure.
good. Speaking of which, here's something from one of our viewer.
Not the other one.
Yeah. If I can, what am I looking for? I'm looking for messages. Here we go. Question. A simple question for the Grumpies, and this comes from Steve Royale. He's stolen your name.
Yeah.
Simple question. What is your favourite Christmas film and Christmas record or carol? I think that's 3 things there. Record and carol. I need a record and a carol, like a pop song and a carol. For me, it has to be a Christmas carol, versions including the Muppet version. For a carol, it would have to be Silent Night. Happy grumpy Christmas, guys. We'll be doing more about Christmas next week. Okay. Steve, what is your favourite Christmas film?
Well, honorable mention certainly to Die Hard. Die Hard, the original Die Hard, is my favorite film in the world. And it is a Christmas movie.
Okay, I will agree with you. It's a great movie.
It's a great movie. And it is a Christmas movie. But the story, A Christmas Carol, I've done on stage 4 productions of A Christmas Carol. I love a redemption story. I think maybe that's the best one written in English that I've ever experienced. I absolutely adore A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, and the Alastair Sim version from 1954 is my favorite. The whole movie or play or novelette rests on the actor making a hard 90-degree turn at the very end. After Scrooge sees his grave, he has to come to that window. Boy, go buy me a turkey. He has to be a completely new character. He has to change. And that's a really hard right turn for an actor to make. And Sim pulls it off beautifully. Sim sells you on that moment beautifully. And I think other people, Patrick Stewart, he gave it the old Vic Shakespearean try. He put on his
Captain Picard.
Yes, Captain Picard. Jean-Luc. He put on "Make It So," Bob Cratchit, and he tried, but I think he dropped the ball in that moment of redemption. But I think the story of Christmas Carol is an absolutely perfect story, even with the logical inconsistencies. The fact that he wrote it all in one sitting, so at the end of it he has to say, "Oh look, the spirits have done it all in one night." Because in the beginning he said, "We will come to you on six." Jacob Marley says, "The spirits will come to you one a night." And then, as in the process of writing it, Dickens went, "Oh wait, no, it's got to all happen on Christmas Eve." So by the end of it, they did it all in one night. Even with those little inconsistencies, I think it's an absolutely marvelous story. So that's my answer. What's yours? What's your favorite Christmas movie? Home Alone.
Well, look, Home Alone gets a honourable mention. Not the other one, not Home Alone 2 or any of the others.
No.
I like the Family Guy version where the robbers walk in going, I can't remember what they say, something like, "I'll just watch out for all the booby traps," and they just walk around them all and shoot him. So Oh, this is going to sound...
Go on.
It's black and white.
Okay.
And there's probably, I think it's the most popular song of all time, or the biggest selling song of all time, came from the movie. The movie's called Holiday Inn.
Right, Holiday Inn, sorry.
Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye,
Oh, who are the women?
Dorothy Lamour, oh God, Tim got it wrong.
Yeah.
And the two ladies, Mitzi Gaynor, I think, was one of them, who are still tramping around, by the way, looking fabulous. I think she's 130, but she's looking good.
Okay, that's a good choice. Holiday Inn.
And I don't know if I look. I haven't seen it since I first saw it, sitting with my parents, and I remember being in tears at the end of it. No, everybody got together, and the song. And if I watched it now, I'd probably think, "What the hell was I thinking?" But I was impressed by it when I was, 12 years old.
And it's not even, I think, strictly a Christmas movie, because doesn't the point of the Holiday Inn? Doesn't the movie go from like the 4th of July through Thanksgiving and Christmas and then New Year's? It goes through the holidays,
like that.
Doesn't it? Yeah. And it just happens Christmas comes at the end of the film, so they spend more time, and it's got that song.
White Christmas.
Yeah. I think that's a good choice. I would approve of that. I would allow you to enjoy that movie.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, I'm a giver.
So the next one is, we'll go Christmas Carol. What's your favorite
the Boar's
Christmas
Head
Carol?
The Boar's Head Carol.
How does that go?
I'm glad you asked. Oh, the boar's head, as I understand, is the fairest treat in all this land. Thus bedecked with a gay garland, convesti servi cantico, caput apre de ferro, redens laudes domino.
I have never heard that in my life.
No, but I have, because it's in my range. It's pure baritone. So, yeah, I did a production of Christmas Carol that was all Victorian Christmas carols. Now, every scene was underlaid by a carol. And that one just happens, that was the entrance of the Ghost of Christmas Present.
I would have liked to have seen you with your gay garland.
Well, no, I did.
Adorned.
I played Mr. Fezziwig. You would have enjoyed seeing me. I was a very comic Mr. Fezziwig. He's crucial in that story. Fezziwig
I've never heard that song in my life.
The Boar's Head Carol, because it's a Victorian Christmas carol. Do you know the Holly and the Ivy?
Victoria.
No.
Victoria.
Do you know the Holly and the Ivy?
Yes, no, the Holly and the Ivy.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
They are
dun.
both full grown of all the
Dun, dun,
trees
dun,
that are
dun,
in the
dun,
woods.
yes, I
the
know that one.
holly bears the crown.
I don't know if I have a favourite. The first time I ever did a solo was in church, and I sang Once in Royal David City.
Okay, that one I don't know.
Once in Royal David City. There's something virgin. So every time we go virgin,
Yeah,
sing a
right.
snigger.
Yeah, sure. It's a funny word. It's a funny word. Yeah.
Even then I thought, how could she possibly be a virgin?
There is a second farang in the pool. So perhaps it's simply the heat of the afternoon. It's like three or four now in the afternoon. It might be everybody's in the air conditioning of the room waiting out the heat.
I think two people doesn't mean 100% occupancy.
No. But I thought the place was deserted when we walked in.
I don't have any favourite Christmas carols. Oh Holy Night, is that a Christmas carol? That's a bit more...
Yeah.
Oh Holy Night?
Yeah, sure.
I'll go Oh Holy Night. That moves me.
Holy night.
We don't have to. I'll cut this bit out.
Our Lord.
Okay. And now we'll get to sort of the latest ones, the sort of the pop song records.
Oh.
And the number one song this year in the hot top 100, the Billboard 100, for the past 20 years, it's always been Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that song.
This year, for the very first time...
Oh, Taylor? Was it Taylor Swift?
No.
Who knocked her out?
And they've dug her up and been interviewing it because she never had a number one song.
Oh, Brenda Lee.
Yes.
Brenda Lee coming on strong.
Rocking
around the Christmas tree. She was 13 when she recorded that.
Yes, she
That's
was.
why she's still alive. And
she's 85 or something now.
Yeah.
So that she's been dragged out on all the morning shows and stuff. And,
sure. Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
And so she's had a number one some, 60 years after she recorded the song, rocking around the Christmas tree.
And all of her 12 grandchildren are going, college is paid for.
So congratulations, Brenda, and thank you for your subscription.
Brenda Lee, coming on strong. Radar love.
And
radar love.
Where'd you get that?
Brenda Lee, coming on strong. Boom, 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 boom. He's listening to the radio, and Brenda Lee is what's on the radio. That's what inspired the song, a Brenda Lee song. Anyway, yeah. You know, Golden Earring, they're an Aussie band, aren't they? Golden Earring? No? All right, my bad. Steve got it wrong. My bad.
Golden Earring.
Yeah, Golden Earring. That was
Radar
the one
Love.
hit. Radar Love.
I know
Boom,
the song
boom,
Radar
boom,
Love. No,
boom,
it's not
boom,
an Australian
boom,
band.
Boom, boom, boom,
I'm
boom,
pretty
boom,
sure
boom.
it's not an
Yeah,
Australian band.
The bass player, yeah. The focus, spotlight on the bass player. Boom, 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 boom.
Radar Love. It's sort of I'd have to listen to the
Oh,
lyrics.
you
to figure
remember
out what it's
Radar
about.
Love, right?
I know the song, but I'm trying to think, well, why is it called Radar Love? Sort of an odd thing to have a love of.
Yeah, I don't know, because he's talking about being on the highway, he's speeding to get home. Maybe it's the radar speed
Police
detector or
radar,
something. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so, my favourite...
Children in the pool, can you hear that? Yeah, everybody's just waiting for the sun to go down. The place is crammed to the rafters.
So it'd be easy for me to say White Christmas would be my sort of favourite song, Christmas song, but no. I've got two, and I'm sorry, I do play it endlessly at Christmas. I'm ashamed again, I do like the Mariah Carey.
Yeah, me too. Sure, don't be ashamed. It's a great
What
song.
for Christmas Is You. And the other one, which does get me a little bit teared up sometimes, is War Is Over, Merry Christmas, John Lennon. And so this is Christmas.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That really is very touching.
Yes, it is, yeah.
And if John Lennon left nothing apart from the other 50,000 hit tunes, that song really, I think, hits the right note.
Dude was a genius.
On Christmas.
Dude was a genius.
Sure.
Now, you can argue with me in the comment section, but I think John Lennon was a genius. And I don't care how unpopular it makes me to say that. I think the guy was a good musician.
Oh, he was a great musician.
Prove me wrong.
Lennon and McCartney were two of the great writers of the 20th century.
I was trying to speak with some sarcasm, some irony. So, yeah.
Oh, you don't think he's a good writer?
I do. Never mind. I tried for a joke. I took a shot. Never mind. Let's move on. Yeah.
That worked.
You
pretty
got
well,
it,
Steve.
right? You understood, right? He was looking at his phone. He wasn't listening to me.
What?
That's the problem.
I
See?
never listened to you.
See? You got it, though, right? You get me.
So there's an additional question.
All right.
And
I have additional answers.
And this is also from Stephen Royal. And thank you, Stephen, for providing the content for today's program. Because God knows there was nothing 5 minutes before the show.
No, we ain't paying you, dude. Sorry.
What's the best ever Christmas present you have been given? I'll go and say something soppy. Go on. What's the best ever Christmas present you've been given?
My family's Jewish. I've had, very few Christmas presents. Ross with an E because it used to be Rosenberg. Yeah, I know we didn't celebrate Christmas when I was growing up. I know Christmas because in the theater I've done 4 productions of A Christmas Carol. It's on American TV. You can't escape it. But other than that, Christmas was not something in our home. I don't remember a Christmas gift. I don't remember. We never had a tree. We never had a Christmas tree.
Really?
I don't think so.
Sure. Okay.
I don't think so.
I get it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Come
we had a
round to my
menorah.
place.
We had a menorah. We had Hanukkah. We celebrated Hanukkah.
We've got a great big tree in our place.
I can't even remember getting a Hanukkah gift. I don't.
Do you get gifts for Hanukkah? Is that what you do?
Oh, yeah,
Hanukkah?
yeah. Well, that is a newer Reformed tradition.
Oh, God.
The Orthodox community, the Chassid community, don't, I think, give Hanukkah gifts. But kids growing up in Iowa, when all the other kids in school were getting Christmas gifts, yeah, I think parents, and there's a joke, the Hanukkah bush. You have a Christmas tree in Christian homes and a Hanukkah bush in the Jewish homes. But yeah, I don't remember. I'm sure, my mom gave me gifts at Hanukkah. I don't remember. Chocolate coins. There's an obvious joke there. Yeah, chocolate coins, because you play dreidel. You gamble with the dreidel, and you win. If you're a child, you win chocolate coins. Yeah. Sorry, sorry, viewer. I cannot answer this. I haven't. I don't remember ever receiving a Christmas gift.
Look, I have had 64 years of Christmas gifts, and I can't really single out any of them. I mean, my parents were very generous in giving to me, and I'm sure they gave me some wonderful gifts. A lot of it used to be clothes. My sister, for 20 years, used to give me a pair of socks, none of which I ever wore.
Don't tell the Rotary.
No,
They'll take that award right back.
I used to have one of, because my parents ran a hardware store, and one of the staff who was very kind to me always used to give me $1 in a Christmas card.
Aww.
Which, when she first started giving it to me, which she did every year for about 30 years, was very, very generous.
Yeah.
After 30 years, it was like a bit pathetic because of inflation. She didn't keep up with inflation.
Well, it's a sweet gesture. Sweet. The tradition.
Well, it would have been sweeter if she'd kept up with inflation. So, but honestly, the best Christmas gift for me is
Speaking of Scrooge, go on.
Having friends around for Christmas dinner. I do love it.
Sure.
I really enjoy just the getting together, and just whatever has been a beef with us over the year, you just move on and you talk about good things. You enjoy some good food, some good cheer, good vibes, and that to me is the very, very best gift that anybody can give for Christmas.
You've been listening to Linus's speech from the end of A Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah. Well, he quotes scripture. You didn't quote scripture. But yeah, that's the whole point of A Charlie Brown Christmas.
I start quoting the scripture, we're going to be hit by lightning, Steve. with
smote. We will be smote by lightning.
Okay, so another thing. How are we going time-wise? All right, this is the last one. Another story that came up this week, and I found this interesting. In fact, it was a headline on my thumbnail today. Is there's been the TAT, the Tourism Authority of Thailand.
Heard of them, yes, heard of them.
And who I endlessly tear apart because they say some very foolish things. And there's also the Tourism and Sports Authority of Thailand. Never hear much what they're doing with sport, but we hear plenty of what they're doing with tourism. And I'm not sure why they're in the same ministry, but there you go. But they've decided, because the return of foreign tourists has been a little bit lackluster this year. Mind you, we're going to end up with about 2/3 the number of tourists that came in 2019, the last biggest year we had in tourism. But that apparently isn't good enough. I would have thought they've done pretty well to, in the situation around the world, that in the first full year of recovery, I would have thought getting 2/3 of your previous tourists was a pretty good number.
Yeah.
And if you go to Phuket at the moment, which is in that direction, that's why I'm pointing that way, the place is rammed at the moment with tourists. I mean, it's really... They're not up at Natai Beach, I can tell you that.
No.
But they're in Phuket, and I hear Pattaya and Bangkok's busy. But they're going to pivot next year to promote local tourism.
Okay.
Which I thought, well, okay, rather than all this sort of hand-wringing and pearl-clutching about the number of foreign tourists and how much money they're going to bring to the country, it is a good idea to maybe spend some budget and some time and effort in encouraging local people to look around their own country, maybe with incentives, maybe with special deals, maybe with...
simply education of what's in your area.
Yeah. And move it beyond the next town to perhaps visit the next province.
Sure, I think that would be a great idea.
Because no matter what happens with international tourism, if you've got a strong local tourism vibe, that's always going to be a good backstop, no matter what happens to the tourism economy.
And if you have enough people in your society who make enough money to be able to afford a little holiday. People, maybe somebody who has a car dealership in Isan and does pretty well one year wants to take his family to the seaside, but he doesn't want to go to Pattaya because it's Pattaya. So tell him, oh, well, there's this other beach nearby you can get to. You don't have to go all the way to Phuket. You don't have to go all the way to Chumpon. There's something closer to you, and it's got this, it's got this, it's got this. Every public television station and radio station in America has some reporter who goes out and discovers little interesting things in that state to encourage people to visit their own state, to go, spend some money. 2 counties over. Don't fly to Disneyland in Florida this year. Just, drive 2 counties over and take your kids to this amusement park. So maybe it's something like that. Maybe it's education, more of a thrust in letting people know what's in their neighborhood.
Yeah, I think if they do it well, it could be a great boon for Thai tourism. To have that as a good, strong foundation. And no matter how they build local tourism, that will benefit any foreigners that come here that use those same facilities, new bus routes, new flights, whatever it encourages.
It'll keep things open so that you don't walk down the street past empty shuttered shop house, empty shuttered shop house, empty shuttered shop house. We had like 2 minutes to go. We were almost done. I swear to God, we got to start over now.
No, we don't. It's still going.
Join us again. We'll start over.
It's trying to do something about the sun.
What's
trying to move the sun?
What's all this empty space up here? What's all this?
I know it's not good framing. The thing is, it's got a click in it. If I go, it goes click, and that's. So you're going to have to put up with a bit of daylight above us.
All right, yeah, sure.
You want to see the theming, see the lights.
Yeah,
and,
that's sweet. It is very nicely decorated here. It's a pretty place, yeah.
So that's about it.
All right.
So we will speak a bit more about... I don't know if we've done the Christmas topic pretty much today, but you're coming to Christmas dinner.
I am.
At the Newton household.
I'll tell you what, I will make a point of bringing 2 subjects dealing with Christmas to the next meeting.
Okay.
All right? Yeah, I will bring a couple for once. I will contribute.
And maybe if I might put something on our community section on the YouTube channel, inviting people to. I'll come up with some Christmas survey questions, and we'll have that which we can mock you basically about.
You are shining like a national guitar, dude.
No, I'm gonna have it's going to be red on this side and white on this side.
You're a very white man.
It'll look like a 50-50 bar. So with that, I would like to remind people that Steve has his own YouTube channel.
I do. Believe it or not.
He is stuck at how many? 4,900 and...
4.97.
Come on, let's get Steve over 5,000 subscribers.
Please. I promise I'll quit. Get me to 5,000, I'll stop.
Really?
No, not at all.
Oh, you heard it.
I'll promise anything.
You heard it first here.
Yeah.
This is going to get dragged.
I'll have 20,000 by tomorrow morning. I'll have 20,000 subscribers.
Well, let's hope
and then
you do.
When I don't stop, they'll all unsubscribe.
I know I will. So with that, also in the description below, there's an email so you can send rude messages to Steve, and also
Please
buy
do.
His merch.
Yeah.
We
All
do
that
need
good
to get
stuff.
some merch for Grumpy Old Man. I don't know what it's going to be.
We do. A T-shirt that says "Don't touch the table."
Yes. No, don't touch the fucking table.
Yeah.
Yes.
God damn it.
So hope you have a fantastic rest of your Sunday or whenever you're watching this. I'll be back, of course, with our daily Monday to Friday TNT review of the main stories around Thailand, and all the way from Le Coral in Natai Beach, Phang, Thailand. It's goodbye from me.
And, I forgot. My mom said to say hello to you. She said, say hello to Tim. And goodbye from me. Thank you very much for your attention. I love you guys.
Bye, Mrs. Ross.